Hello Aries, welcome to Mind, Body and Heart Tarot Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for the month of June 2019. I hope you are well, Aries. This is a general reading. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. I pre-shuffled your card already, but yeah, let's start shuffling. I'm gonna pull out 4 cards. I'm gonna see what's the underlying energy, and I'm gonna pull out some clarifiers. I'm gonna pull out, like, usually I read 2 cards together as a deeper understanding of the duality of the situation. For there's always a duality. And if necessary, I can pull out more clarifiers during the reading. So here we are, Aries, for the month of June. There we go. First card is the Lovers. Beautiful. What else do we have? 4. All right. Ten of Pentacles with Queen of Swords. And one more card for Aries, please. There we go. 3 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. We have the Page of Wands as your underlying energy. Here we go. And now let's pull out some more clarifiers. What's the other side of the story? All right, so the Lover comes with the Knight of Cups. The 10 of Pentacles comes with the 7 of Swords. Queen of Swords comes with the Moon. One more, please. The Chariot with 3 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck, it's 7 of Wands to go along with the Page of Wands as your theme. All right. So let's talk about this, Aries. What's happening here? What's the energies for June for you? Okay, I'll tune into it a little bit and then we'll talk about this. All right. So the Page of Wands coming with the 7 of Wands as your theme. I believe it has to do with spiritual growth, and it has to do with forming of a belief system that it may make sense to you. And the Page of Wands is a young energy still. It's somebody who's just grasping that they have the power to sort of create their own reality. They have the power to choose. They have the power to choose how they want to respond to life and how they want to show up in life. See, this guy looks here at the wand, and the wand's got these leaves on it, which symbolizes growth. And this young fellow here, he looks at the wand with wonder, feeling like, wow, I finally got it. This is how it works. Wow, okay, so we grow in this direction from now on. And the landscape here is desert. And desert, it's a symbol of fire energy. but it's also a symbol of maybe a period that was a little bit harsh. and and yeah, coming with the Seven of Wands, I believe that you just start to create this system that works for you, this belief system, this understanding of how the world works for you and how you can show up into the world. And of course, you start being challenged about this. You start your ideas, maybe a little bit wild, maybe a little bit out there. People will counter your ideas heavily. So you gotta stand up for yourself here. See, these people, they have ones of with leaves on them as well, and they're not really a threat. This is what I get it. It's like this challenge is for you to grow even further, and it's a seven. Seven, it's a magical number. It's a number of spiritual growth. Really, it's challenges that we need to overcome in order to grow. So I think that this reading is about understanding that you're on the right path and that you're just starting to understand. So be easy on yourself, and also don't just like give up completely your ideas when you're being a little bit challenged. But stand up for yourself and stand up for your your view of the world at this point. This is not to say, again, remember, pages are young energy, they're still gonna grow, and it's just the beginning. So there's a lot to learn still, but you start to grasp into the reality of how things work. And you have the Lovers here with the Knight of Cups, and I think it can be taken into your relationships and the way you look at love, the way you look at expectations also from the others. The Knight of Cups is also pretty young energies. Is an offer, and I don't think this is you in this case. I think it has to do with the way you want other people to treat you in a relationship. You want someone who to be sensible. You want someone to be maybe a little bit dependable on you, if that makes any sense. And you want them to offer you their heart. Nothing wrong with that. It's just I think the reminder here is that we can't really depend on other people. And if whenever we expect something from people, we kind of set ourselves up for disappointment. Not to say that the one needs to go with each and every person they show up in their lives as a way to be in a relationship. No, that's not it. But what I'm saying is that I can take things and people for what they are, and I can show up in relationships by accepting this concept of radical acceptance, which is not as radical as it sounds. It's more about taking things for what they are, because if I don't accept them for what they are, then I'm in denial, and then I just want to change them. So I don't really show up for what's real. I show up for what I expect. I show up for my projection. I show up for illusions. And the Lovers here, I think it has to do with overcoming a certain need for other people to fulfill some of your needs. And to make sure that it's this relationship, whatever it is, if it's a relationship that you're in already in, if it's with a lover, if it's with people around you that you care, like a family member or friends, close friendships. But it can, I think in this case, may have to do with lovers, actual partner, that you may have, or you may, somebody may be courting you, or you expect something that you wish, like the whole idea of a relationship. Sometimes, if one is single, for example, and contemplates the idea of a relationship, they contemplate the idea of the relationship coming from a need. Oh, I need to be in a relationship. Sometimes we can just be open. I'm like, okay, I am ready to meet someone. That means that I've been doing my inner work and I feel like I haven't got any more barriers that I can see at this point to put in the way of love. But if I just feel lonely, for example, or if I just feel like I want someone to entertain me or to take care of me, then I may put some expectation on the other people, on the other person, and that's not working really. That's setting oneself up for failure. And I'm saying this because I see also this Seven of Swords here coming with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a sort of like well, it's not happily ever after the way Ten of Cups is, but it still is, because it shows this whole like perfect family here, and it has to do with abundance and riches and family situation and all this. And I think we all wish we had this type of abundance and this type of joy in our lives, this sort of like legacy to leave behind. But coming with the Seven of Pentacles, oh, I'm sorry, the Seven of Swords, I think that we're deceiving ourselves in certain ways. Maybe we expect all this, but we're not really ready to receive. Or maybe we're not really ready to give anything, and we just expect to receive. And again, this is in the context of relationship, and this is in the context of partnerships. How have you been showing up in your relationship, Aries? Do you have too much expectations from your partner? Do you dream of this perfect life without really putting your share in it? And here we are, this is the Queen of Swords and the Moon together, and the Queen of Swords is all about like mental clarity and communication and deep understanding of boundaries, and the Moon is all about confusion and fears and intuition maybe. So this Queen of Swords and the Moon is they're telling me that you gotta soften up a little bit. Maybe you've been fenced up a little bit too much, and you kind of been hoping that your partner or your lover or somebody will come to help you soften up, to help you open up a little bit, to help you bring your feminine side and your soft side and in touch with your intuition. Are you expecting other people to break your boundaries in order for you to open up? That can... I've seen that a lot, and I've been guilty of that myself. I mean, feeling like I'm so fragile that I can't really open up, and therefore I put in shields as big and as thick as everyone can see, and keeping everyone at arm's length, and then somehow expecting that people around me that want to enter my life be able to jump over those fences by themselves. It was almost like a challenge, and it's not fair. It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to ourselves. and also opens the door for abuse. So if you've been struggling with abusive relationships, or you've been attracting certain kind of more abusive people in your life, it may also be because of the way of you showing up into the world. Because if you do show up like this, all fenced up and expecting people to break you soft, well, they can do that again when you don't expect it and when you're not welcoming it, and that can be very painful. So have firm boundaries for sure, but also know when those boundaries are necessary and when they aren't, and allow for your intuition to tell you that. It's not like we have a set of boundaries that we are born with. We learn our boundaries as we go in our lives, and yeah, keep observing within yourself, within your inner landscape. What is it that you really fear? What is it that you really need? And what is it that your boundaries need to be in the present moment with very particular people? Each and every person has their own boundaries. Therefore, our boundaries can somewhat be changing in a way to accommodate their own or their lack of boundaries. So um look at that, and trust your intuition, trust your gut. What is your gut telling you? It's okay, it is safe to open up, it is safe to allow to some of your soft side to show in relationships. You don't need to close down, you don't need to um have this idea of self-deception that I need to be strong and I need to be lock everyone out because I am so fragile, really. And if they don't push to get to know you better, then you feel abandoned and neglected. So make sure that you're addressing this aspect of yourself. And then we have the Three of Pentacles with the Chariot. Yeah, I think that the Three of Pentacles has to do with like learning how to connect with people from different aspects, different walks of life, and with different skills. It can be in a working environment, it can be in a networking environment, something that might help you gain some deeper understanding of your physical reality. And that can manifest, as I said, in through work or through friendships as well. Sort of like sometimes we do this exchange with friends that are very different than us, and I share about, say, my experience as a human being, given my life story and my understanding of the world, and they share theirs, and we grow together because we learn to expand our view of the world and our view of how we perceive the world by sharing so closely and so intimately with other people from a position where they allow some vulnerability and we allow our life experience to come out. Then we can really, really grow. And we can understand more of the world. We can understand more of the dark side and bright side of everything. We can have a broader spectrum of life understanding. And I'm not to say that if you share with me your deepest life story and your perception, I always agree, condone, or it's not as if I lived it that way, but it stretches my mind a little bit and it helps me maybe revisit some of my own views and some of my own expectations of the world. And that's growth. That's always growth. And see, maybe here when I'm saying that we're challenged, maybe it's you're being challenged through your relationships, through your Your own expectations are being challenged, and that's a good thing. Your own boundaries are being challenged because maybe you've been deceiving yourself and you weren't really aware of your boundaries. So you gotta, it's called upon you to redefine them and reinforce the ones that are still needed, and let go of those that are not needed any longer, and they're just redundant and running in the background as a programming. The Chariot, it's about focusing your energy in a direction. It's about having a goal and going for it. It's about having the understanding and having the resources you need in order to move forward. And here I think it has to do also with human resources, networking, and human experience. This helps to propel forward. So don't close yourself down. Don't put your fences up and not allowing anyone in. Allow for smart shields and adaptable shields to exist. I'm not saying that we don't need boundaries. We all do. We all still need our shields. We still have deepest fears, and we can't resolve them on spot. We can't just go out into the world completely vulnerable and expect everything to work out. But on the other hand, we also need to revisit what are our shields right now. Are they still functioning or not? Right, I'd like to clarify the Chariot, please. The Chariot with the Three of Pentacles. Can do it here. Alright, let's see what's this about. The Princess of Discs. To clarify the Chariot and the Three of Pentacles. I'll put one more, which is the Lovers again. Okay, yeah. It has to do with relationships. It has to do with reconciling also opposites within ourselves. Having this Chariot here and having these Lovers here. See, in this deck, the Lovers also are, one is white and one is dark skin. And here you have the Chariot with the Sphinx, which is one is white and one is black. And I think in this case this symbolizes reconciling of opposites within ourselves. And as we reconcile these opposites within ourselves, we are able to show up into the world and to the relationships around us, which don't really, they're not only about love, I mean like partnerships or romantic love, but it's really about, it's about general love, it's about unconditional love, it's about love for the world and for the self. And the Princess of Discs knows that. Maybe you're being called upon yourself again to bring in that nurturing, that feminine, that more soft side out, and connect to it, connect to the body, connect to your intuition, connect to your feminine energy. Whether you're male or female, you can connect to that feminine energy of yourself, and allow it to guide you, allow it to be integrated into the way you show up in relationships and into the world. And that will help you move forward from wherever you are right now. It will give you the resources you need to move forward and grow from this young energy to the next level. And when I'm saying young, is not that, oh God, young and fresh and happy, and it's not just that. I mean, young can mean that, but it can also mean unexperienced. And it's great. You are learning so much in this month, Aries. That's lovely. Well, I hope that makes sense. I'm so happy to sit with you today. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you here next time.